or what bisexual meant. However, transgender, I did not exactly know what the meaning of that was. So I said to the woman, I'm sorry, I cannot answer that. I don't completely understand that question. And she's like, ma'am, really like uppity. Well, it's just a yes or no answer. You have to answer yes or no. And I'm like, what if I don't want to answer yes or no? What if I don't know the answer and don't have an answer? Well, just do your best. Answer something, yes or no. Like, that's kind of the way she's coming at me. And I was just like, oh my God, okay, whatever. So I assumed that maybe transgender was maybe heterosexual. I don't know. But I think I might have answered yes. So, in any case, that's neither here nor there, except for the fact that they were just really, the fact that the company just wouldn't take a I don't know or I refuse to answer that question as an answer really, really got to me. And the fact that it was coming in on a phone that was locked out. We couldn't do anything with the phone, but this call came in on this phone. So I hung up the phone, and all of a sudden, my daughters come, and they're pounding down my bedroom door, and they're like, Ma, your cousin needs you to call them. And now my cousin is somebody that's part of our armed militia services in the United States. And all of a sudden, and I hadn't talked to them in like a year. All of a sudden, them coming over Facebook to my children and talking about, I need your mom to call me right away, this, that, and the other thing. It got me very afraid that, oh my God, something happened. So I go and I call them up, and they're basically just started asking me a series of questions too that were really random and strange. And I was like, what the heck is going on right now? At the same time that this was happening, a revelation, or a realization I should say, dawned on me that my body felt lightened up. And there was an air of something around me that whole entire day that these things occurred, where it just felt like I was being and somehow awakened, or that this was the first step in something. So while they were asking me these questions, I was half crying, and I remember saying, such and such, my cousin's name, tell me, what is Gallup? Because at that time, I didn't really know what Gallup was. They were like, I have no clue. And I'm like, that's kind of weird, because you're kind of asking me like these really like same weird questions that I don't even understand where they fit into anything. What the hell's going on? And then my cousin proceeds to ask me, so like, and I remember screaming. I was like, oh my God, it's all real. Everything. It's all real. Do you understand that? Do you understand that everything is real? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, everything. God is real. Aliens, angels, demons, like fairy tale stuff that you've ever heard about. It's all real somehow. So they started asking me something about fighting with somebody, and a little background on myself. I'm just somebody who has had episodes for my own like reasons. I've suffered from mental illness, and I've been known to have a violent tendency when people put their hands on me. I'm not okay with that. And usually, like, if you get in my face, I'm like the first to tell you, like, get out of my face. I'm not the type of person you want to mess with. You really don't want to get this other thing inside of me to just come out, like have a blackout episode or something. And it's not because I want to hurt anybody. I can be dangerous. I take the defense of myself very, very seriously, and those that I love. But at this point in my life, I was coming to a place where I was trying not to be always arguing back, believing that, just kind of trying to walk the path of Jesus type thing. So when they started asking me stuff like that, I'm like, no, I can't. I absolutely can't see myself doing that at this instance. Like, I've come a long way, and I'm really trying to do this whole, heap burning coals on their head by forgiving. So then they start asking me stuff about, well, if you had a gun in your house and someone broke in, would you shoot them? And I'm just like, where is this coming from? This is just this neither here nor there. So anyway, that was that. that was very strange at the moment too. Hang up. Next thing I decided, because I had been going through so much this day, was I'm needing to take a shower. I'm going to try and take a shower and try to lay down and relax, because a lot is just going on. I feel this whole thing coming over me. And lo and behold, I go in the shower. And in the shower, I have the first of what I'm later to learn was going to be many crazy voices and visions happening to myself and about myself specifically, as well as about the world and things that were going to take place. So I'm in the shower, and all of a sudden I step under the water. I tilt my head back to wash my hair, and I notice what seems like this bright white light shining down, surrounding me, almost as if someone draped a sheet over me, but above, and all the ripples, the way that if somebody was trying to dress up as a ghost, I would imagine would get like those ripples if they put a sheet over them. Well, it was like that. And all of a sudden I heard a voice say, "Choose wisely, child." And I was just like, oh my God, here we go. Like, something is happening to me. And I felt the presence of God and Jesus very specifically with me at that moment, and knew that this is very crucial, what's happening and what's taking place. Next, I finish taking my shower. I get out of the shower and I start drying off, and specifically, all of a sudden, the bathroom turns to what appears to be a black void. Then all of a sudden, it looks like thousands of stars dangling around me, and I notice that I'm standing on what looks like a little bit of a platform where I could either go forward or backwards, and there's nothing in front of me, and if I did, I would just be stepping out into just pure space. But on my left and right side were what I could only explain as two arched wooden doors, like round arched, and the doors were wooden with these like metal type handles that were like rings. And I remember feeling, I didn't hear a voice at this point, but just feeling like I was being very specifically prompted to choose one or the other and walk through it. At this point, I hit the floor. I started becoming hysterical and crying and begging out and praying to God, "Please, God, please, I will go anywhere. I will follow you anywhere. I will do anything. I am willing to see and learn and come to light with what's going on. But please, I don't know what happens from here. Just let me have this one more night. Just one more night here with my kids and my family, and just to be with them. I don't want to leave like this." I'm sorry if I get emotional in this. This is hard for me, and I haven't expressed all these things to a lot of people, and I haven't expressed all of them, period. Like, some of these things have been disclosed to my closest family and relatives, but not all of them. And this one, if I did ever share it, it was probably brief, and I don't think I took the time to actually mourn over the experience that occurred on this particular vision and what happened from it, because I was very saddened. I felt like this is going to be the last time I see them. I need to try and stay. Just one night. So I was begging God for this, and all of a sudden, I don't know how long, it seemed like an eternity I was there, I heard this beaming, like booming voice, a male's voice this time, say, "Behold, I have found you wanting. So now I am about to chew you up and spit you out of my mouth." I was just devastated and in shock. I think I sat there crying even more now because I felt like I had let down God in some way. So whatever the case, I ended up getting up and just drying myself off, because it was a lot coming at me. You don't know what to do when stuff like this hits you, and at the time I didn't feel like I was going crazy or mental. I know that later, after like more stuff started happening, I started questioning my own sanity, like, is this like real? Like, is this occurring? But the next thing was, I went to the living room, went with my kids, spent the time watching a movie with them, which seemed to pass almost instantly, like, and I don't even remember what movie, what it was about, but somehow or another from that, my girls decided they were going to go up to their bedroom, and I had decided I was going to look. At the time I was using Bible Gateway on my phone. It wasn't the only thing I was using. I have lots of Bibles and biblical scripture and pamphlets and all that to do with this, so to reference. But I decided I was just going to use the phone and do that. And all of a sudden, what was on the phone seemed directed, the verses I started reading seemed directed directly at me. I remember going upstairs and feeling like, something's really going on. I need to contact my mom. I hadn't spoke with her at this point in like maybe a year or so. Me and my mom have not always had the greatest relationship, but I felt like what was ever happening and the visions and voice prior in the bathroom, maybe it's time I need to call my mom. I need to let her know what's going on, tell her I love her, because I don't know. So I know that at this point I didn't want to touch my phone really, because I felt like the technology was just evil and haunted and I didn't want to deal with it. So I gave my daughter the phone. I asked her to dial my mother. I got on the phone with my mother and I started explaining to her everything that I had been going through a little prior to this and this particular day. And my mom just kept saying, I know. I absolutely know. I've been feeling stuff, and people around me and in where I live have been going through things, and something's coming. And because I remember telling her, Ma, something's coming. Something's going to happen. Something's coming. And the next thing I know, all of a sudden, I had this feeling like I was coming undone, literally coming undone. I felt like pieces of my body were fragmenting off of me and just floating, and I was trying to just gather myself to me. Like, I felt like I was becoming fragmented. And I remember saying that, and I'm like, Ma, I have to go. I have to go right now. I don't know what's happening. So I took the phone, I hung it up, and I almost like chucked it at my daughter, my poor kid. And the next vision I had, and the last one for this particular day, was all of a sudden I felt my head being snapped backwards up like this, and both of my hands were being forced behind my back, and again the room became a pitch black void. But instead of stars and all this appearing, I seen what looked like a sun, a big bright ball off in the distance in front of me. But I knew that this was not the sun. It absolutely 100% was not the sun, because the entire room remains pretty much pitch black. There was very little bit of luminescence being given off to this void of space or room, whatever, like an endless warehouse. But I managed to take my eyes and like look around about me, and I noticed that I was not the only one. There had to be what I can only explain as thousands to millions of other people being forced into this position to look up at this false sun-like thing. And off further in the distance where my eyes could look, I noticed where it looked like there was some people that had these like school type desks in front of them, kind of like the old kind from when I was a child. You had the open front and you could slip stuff right into the desk, and on top of them seemed to be what I could only describe as some kind of laptop or computer thing. The whole vision lasted for what maybe was like a series of 30 seconds according to my daughters, but it felt like I was in that room for quite some time. And when I came out of it, I just remember I started crying, feeling like I don't know what is happening right now. I'm losing my mind. Technology is bad. I had this really, really absolute certainty that technology was the cause of our downfall, or going to be the cause of it, and that this false sun had something to do with the book of Revelations and the Antichrist and the beast and, the devil and Satan and Lucifer, and it was no good. So, yeah, pretty much that was it for March 14th, 2015, which initiated the start of when my life was going to officially change forever And I just wanted to get that out there because I've been having a problem. I just need to put this out there. I will be back with more detail as to what took place prior to this, and with 7 months worth of crazy happenings that happened to me, as well as a few incidents in between from 2015 to the beginning of 2018, and then to let you know what was going on, the visions and series of stuff that took place in this year of 2018 and whatever might still keep occurring. Thank you guys for listening to this. If anybody else has experienced anything like this, please make some comments. Let me know. I'm open to constructive criticism. And other than that, thanks for listening.